three cleaning compounds sit on the same grocery store shelf, and most people have no idea what separates them or when to use which one. One has been in American homes since the 1800s. One does something the others physically cannot. And one is mostly a repackaged version of something cheaper. Here is the actual difference. Before running through the comparison, a word on why this question matters at all. The cleaning product aisle has become increasingly crowded with products that present themselves as distinct solutions to specific problems when the chemistry underneath many of them is either identical or nearly identical to something already on the shelf at a fraction of the cost. Understanding what these three compounds actually are, not just what the label says, is what allows you to spend $2 on something that does the job of a $12 product and know exactly why it works. Borax, sold under the recognizable 20 Mule Team brand among others, is sodium tetraborate, a naturally occurring mineral mined primarily from dry lake beds in the American Southwest and in Turkey. It has been sold as a household cleaning and laundry booster in the United States since the late 1800s, and the same box design has barely changed in over a century because the product itself has barely needed to change. Borax works as a water softener, as a mild alkaline cleaning agent, and as a natural deodorizer. When dissolved in water, it creates a slightly alkaline solution that helps lift greasy and oily residue from surfaces and fabric, and it buffers the pH of the wash water in a way that makes detergent work more effectively. It does not bleach. It does not produce oxygen bubbles. It raises pH moderately and softens the water, and for those two jobs, it is extremely effective and extremely inexpensive. Washing soda, or sodium carbonate, is a close chemical relative of baking soda, but significantly more alkaline. Where baking soda has a pH of around 8.3, washing soda has a pH closer to 11, which puts it in a different category of cleaning intensity. That higher alkalinity makes washing soda more effective at cutting through heavy grease, soap scum buildup on fabric, and mineral deposits on surfaces than borax. It is the active ingredient in many commercial laundry boosters and is the compound used in old-fashioned homemade laundry soap formulas precisely because it does the heaviest lifting of the three ingredients covered here. The trade-off is that washing soda is harsher on skin than borax, should be handled with gloves for prolonged contact, and at high concentrations can be damaging to certain fabrics and surfaces, particularly anything with an aluminum component, since sodium carbonate reacts with aluminum and can cause pitting. OxyClean is the most widely advertised of the three and the most expensive, and it works through an entirely different mechanism than either borax or washing soda. The active ingredient in OxyClean is sodium percarbonate, which is essentially hydrogen peroxide in solid powder form. When sodium percarbonate dissolves in water, it releases hydrogen peroxide, which breaks down into water and oxygen. Those oxygen molecules are what actually do the cleaning work, attacking the organic compounds that cause stains at a molecular level through oxidation. This is why OxyClean is dramatically more effective than either borax or washing soda at removing protein-based stains like blood and grass, oxidizable stains like red wine and coffee, and biological residue on fabric and surfaces. It is not just a more expensive version of the same thing, it does something fundamentally different. The honest head-to-head comparison goes like this. For water softening and general laundry boosting in a washing machine, borax is the right tool and costs the least. It extends the life of detergent, keeps colors from fading as quickly, and prevents mineral buildup in the machine over time. For heavy-duty grease cutting, stripping detergent buildup from towels and clothing, or descaling surfaces with mineral deposits, washing soda is the right tool and costs slightly more, but is still under $3 for a standard box. For stain removal on specific organic and oxidizable stains, particularly the ones that neither borax nor washing soda touch effectively, OxyClean, or its generic sodium percarbonate equivalent, is the right tool and is worth its higher price because nothing else does the same job as effectively. The mistake most people make is buying OxyClean to use as a general laundry booster in every wash, which is an expensive way to get a result that borax achieves more cheaply for that specific application. The inverse mistake is buying only borax and expecting it to remove a red wine stain from a white tablecloth, which it will not do because the mechanism is wrong for that job. Each of these three compounds has a category where it genuinely outperforms the others, and using the right one for the right job is both cheaper and more effective than picking one and using it for everything. There is also a fourth option worth knowing about that sits underneath all three of these on the cost ladder. Sodium percarbonate, the active ingredient in OxyClean, is sold as a raw powder by itself, often labeled as oxygen bleach or percarbonate cleaner, at most hardware stores and pool supply stores. A pound of raw sodium percarbonate typically costs $3 to $5 and contains more active ingredient per dollar than a box of OxyClean, which includes fillers and surfactant additives as part of its formulation. For stain removal specifically, raw sodium percarbonate dissolved in warm water at roughly 1 tablespoon per liter performs identically to an OxyClean solution at a noticeably lower cost per use. There is a surface-level detail about OxyClean worth knowing that the marketing around it has never been particularly clear about. The formulation sold in stores includes not just sodium percarbonate, but also sodium carbonate, which is washing soda, along with surfactants and sometimes additional brighteners. This means that part of what you are paying for in a box of OxyClean is washing soda at retail markup, combined with the sodium percarbonate that actually does the oxygen release stain work. When you buy raw sodium percarbonate separately and add it to wash water that already contains a good detergent, you are getting the same active cleaning chemistry without paying for the washing soda component that you can buy on its own for a fraction of the price. This does not mean OxyClean is a bad product. It is a convenient, well-formulated combination that works exactly as advertised. It means that understanding what is inside it allows you to replicate its most useful function at lower cost when budget is the priority, which for most households doing multiple loads of laundry every week adds up to a meaningful saving over the course of a year. The historical framing here is worth noting because it reflects something broader about how household cleaning chemistry evolved in America. Borax and washing soda were both staples of the American farmhouse cleaning kit from at least the mid-1800s onward, and they were used in combination precisely because each did something different. A farmhouse laundry would use washing soda in the wash water to cut through the heavy soil and grease of working clothes, add borax to soften the water and boost the detergent action, and use lemon juice or sunlight for stain removal on whites because the combination of citric acid and UV acted as a mild bleaching agent. Commercial cleaning products essentially repackage these same mechanisms with added fragrance and marketing, which is why returning to the base compounds cuts cost without cutting effectiveness. One practical comparison worth running in your own home to see this for yourself. Take 3 identical stained cloth pieces, a coffee stain, a grease stain, and a grass or vegetable stain on each. Soak 1 piece in borax solution, 1 in washing soda solution, and 1 in OxyClean or sodium percarbonate solution, all at the same concentration and time. The results will consistently show borax doing best on mineral and general soil, washing soda doing best on grease, and OxyClean or percarbonate doing best on the organic and plant-based stains. This is the test that tells you which to buy for your specific cleaning situation rather than buying all 3 out of uncertainty. If you already have one of these in your home, the next step is to identify which category of cleaning you actually do most often. If you run a washing machine load most days with normal household laundry, borax or washing soda added alongside your regular detergent is the most cost-effective booster. If you deal with specific problem stains regularly, sodium percarbonate in raw form is the most cost-effective targeted solution. And if you are currently buying OxyClean for every load as a general booster, switching to borax for that role and keeping a small amount of sodium percarbonate specifically for stain treatment will cut your cleaning supply cost significantly while producing the same or better results. The next video covers another comparison that most households have never thought to make, between 2 compounds, most people keep in their homes for completely different reasons that turn out to overlap significantly in what they can clean. That video also covers the one specific cleaning job where none of these three compounds work, and the pantry ingredient that handles it better than anything sold in the cleaning aisle. Stay subscribed for that one. Let me know in the comments which of these three you currently use and what you use it for, because the answers tell me exactly which real-world cleaning situations to cover in more detail next.